Maserati is an Italian luxury car manufacturer established on December 1, 1914, in Bologna. The Maserati tagline is luxury, sports and style cast in exclusive cars, and the brand's mission statement is to build ultra-luxury performance automobiles with timeless Italian style, accommodating bespoke interiors, and effortless, signature-sounding power. The company's headquarters are now in Modena, and its emblem is a trident. It has been owned by the Italian car giant Fiat SpA since 1993. Maserati was initially associated with Ferrari SpA, which is also owned by Fiat, but more recently it has become part of the sports car group including Alfa Romeo and ABF. In May 2014, due to ambitious plans and product launches, Maserati sold a record of over 3,000 cars. This caused them to increase production of the Quattroporte and Ghibli models. This is also the first time that Maserati has had two four-door sedans in their lineup at once. In addition to the Ghibli and Quattroporte, Maserati offers the Maserati Gran Turismo, the Gran Turismo convertible, and is confirmed that it will be offering the Maserati Levante, the first Maserati SUV, in 2015, and the Maserati Alfieri, a new 2+2 in 2016. Maserati is placing a production output cap at 75,000 vehicles globally. History: see Maserati Brothers, the Maserati brothers, Alfieri, Bindo, Carlo, Ettore, and Ernesto were all involved with automobiles from the beginning of the 20th century. Alfieri, Bindo and Ernesto built 2-liter Grand Prix cars for Daito. In 1926, Daito suspended the production of race cars, leading to the creation of the first Maserati and the founding of the Maserati marque. One of the first Maseratis, driven by Alfieri, won the 1926 Targa Florio. Maserati began making race cars with 4, 6, 8 and 16 cylinders. The trident logo of the Maserati car company is based on the Fountain of Neptune and Bologna's Piazza Maggiore. In 1921 of the Maserati brothers, artist Mario, used this symbol in the logo at the suggestion of family friend Marquis Diego de Sterlich. It was considered particularly appropriate for the sports car company due to fact that Neptune represents strength and vigor. Additionally, the statue is a characteristic symbol of the company's original home city. Alfieri Maserati died in 1932, but three other brothers, Bindo, Ernesto and Ettore, kept the firm going, building cars that won races. Orsi ownership: in 1937, the remaining Maserati brothers sold their shares in the company to the Adolfo Orsi family, who in 1940 relocated the company headquarters to their hometown of Modena, where it remains to this day. The brothers continued in engineering roles with the company. Racing successes continued, even against the giants of German racing, Auto Union and Mercedes. In back-to-back wins in 1939 and 1940, a Maserati 8CTF won the Indianapolis 500, the only Italian manufacturer ever to do so. The war then intervened, Maserati abandoning cars to produce components for the Italian war effort. During this time, Maserati worked in fierce competition to construct a V16 town sub for Benito Mussolini before Ferry Porsche Volkswagen built one for Adolf Hitler. This failed, and the plans were scrapped. Once peace was restored, Maserati returned to making cars. The Maserati A6 series did well in the post-war racing scene. Key people joined the Maserati team. Alberto Massimino, an old Fiat engineer, with both Alfa Romeo and Ferrari experiences, oversaw the design of all racing models for the next 10 years. With him joined engineers Giulio Alfieri, Vittorio Bellintani, and Gioacchino Colombo. The focus was on the best engines and chassis to succeed in car racing. These new projects saw the last contributions of the Maserati brothers, who after their 10-year contract with Orsi expired went on to form OSCA. This new team at Maserati worked on several projects, the 4CLT, the A6 series, the 8CLT, and, pivotally for the future success of the company, the A6 GCS. The famous Argentinian driver Juan Manuel Fangio raced for Maserati for a number of years in the 1950s, producing a number of stunning victories including winning the World Championship in 1957 in the Maserati 250F alongside Tullio de Graffenried, Louis Chiron, Prince Bira, Enrico Plata copyright, and a few others. Other racing projects in the 1950s were the 200S, 300S, 350S, and 450S, followed in 1961 by the famous Typo 61. Maserati had retired from factory racing participation because of the Guidizzolo tragedy during the 1957 Mille Miglia, though they continued to build cars for privateers. After 1957, Maserati became more and more focused on road cars, and chief engineer Giulio Alfieri built the six-cylinder 3500 2+2 Coupe copyright, which featured an aluminum body over Carrozzeria Touring's Superleggera structure, a design also used for the small-volume V8-powered 5000. Next came the Vignale-bodied Sebring, launched in 1962, the Mistral Coupe copyright in 1963 and Spider in 1964, both designed by Pietro Frua, and also in 1963, the company's first four-door, the Quattroporte, designed by Frua as well. The two-seat Ghibli Coupe copyright was launched in 1967, followed by a convertible in 1969. Citroën ownership. In 1968, Maserati was taken over by the French car manufacturer, Citroën. Adolfo Orsi remained the nominal president, but Maserati changed a great deal. New models were launched, and built in much greater numbers than before. Citroën borrowed Maserati expertise and engines for the Citroën SM and other vehicles, and Maseratis also incorporated Citroën technology, particularly in hydraulics. New models included the Maserati Indy 1969, a Gran Turismo designed by Vignale, and the Maserati Bora, the first mass-produced mid-engined Maserati, in 1971, and the Maserati Mrac and Maserati Campson soon afterwards. The Maserati Quattroporte II, which shared some parts with Citroën SM, never came into production, although 7 were made to special order. The 1973 oil crisis, however, put the brakes on this ambitious expansion when the demand for fuel-hungry sports cars shrank. Citroën went bankrupt in 1974, and on May 23, 1975, the new controlling group PSA Peugeot Citroën declared that Maserati was also in administration. Propped up by Italian government funds, the company was kept in business. The Maserati engine and its associated gearbox have been used in other vehicles such as special rally-prepared Citroën DS, as used by Bob Nearette in Bandama Rally or in the Ligia JS2. De Tomaso, in 1975, the company was taken over by Alejandro de Tomaso, an Argentinian former racing driver, who became managing director. De Tomaso, with aid from GEPI, had arranged for the Benelli Motorcycle Company, which he controlled, to buy Maserati from Citroën and install him as its head. Beginning in 1976, new models were introduced, including the Maserati Kyalami and later the Maserati Quattroporte III in 1979. The 1980s saw the company largely abandoning the mid-engine sports car in favor of squarely styled, front-engined, rear-drive coupes, cheaper than before but with aggressive performance, like the Maserati Biturbo. The Maserati Biturbo engine was fitted in a large number of models, all sharing key components. These included a short two-door coupe, the Maserati Carif, and a cabriolet, the Spider, designed by Zagato. The last version of the Maserati Biturbo was called Maserati Racing. It has been a transitional model in which several features to be found on the Ghibli 2 and the Shamal were tested. Two new coupes, the Maserati Shamal and Maserati Ghibli 2, were released in 1990 and 1992, respectively. The company also worked loosely with Chrysler, now headed by de Tomaso's friend Lee Iacocca. Chrysler purchased part of Maserati and the two jointly produced a car, the Chrysler TC by Maserati. There were also two further projects, the Chibasco, a cancelled V8 mid-engine sports car. The Maserati Barchetta, a small open-top mid-engine sports car, designed by Synthesis Design. 17 examples were produced. Fiat ownership. Fiat acquired the company in 1993. Substantial investments were made in Maserati, and it has since undergone something of a renaissance. In 1998, a new chapter began in Maserati's history when the company launched the 3200 GT. This two-door coupe copyright is powered by a 3.2L twin-turbocharged V8 which produces 370 HP. The car does 0–62 mph in 5.1 seconds. Its top speed is 285 km/h. It was replaced by the Maserati Spider and Coupe copyright in the 2002 model year, which in turn were replaced by the Gran Turismo and Gran Cabrio. Over 2 decades after the ill-fated Chrysler TC by Maserati during Chrysler's brief ownership stake in Maserati, the two companies became interconnected again when Fiat purchased majority control of Chrysler in 2011 as a result of Chrysler's bankruptcy. Ferrari. In July 1997, Fiat sold a 50% share in the company to Maserati's longtime arch-rival Ferrari. In 1999, Ferrari took full control, making Maserati its luxury division. A new factory was built, replacing the existing 1940s vintage facility. Ferrari is credited for bringing Maserati back into business, after many lackluster years of Maserati teetering on the brink of bankruptcy. More recently, Maserati discussed an agreement with Volkswagen for the German company to share its Audi division's Quattro all-wheel drive technology for Maserati's current Quattroporte platform. This idea has since been abandoned because Volkswagen owns two of Ferrari's direct rivals, Lamborghini and Bugatti. Meanwhile, 2 new models have been shown to the public, the MC12 Road Super Sports and successful GT racer with a Ferrari Enzo Euro-derived chassis and engine, and the new Quattroporte, a high-luxury saloon with the 4.2L V8 engine. Nowadays, Maserati is back in business and successfully selling on a global basis. In 2001, Ferrari decided to throw away all the old tooling and installed high-tech devices in the Modena factory, making it one of the most advanced in the world. Since early 2002, Maserati once again entered the United States market, which has quickly become for Maserati the largest market worldwide. The company has also re-entered the racing arena with their Trofeo and, in December 2003, the Maserati MC12, which was developed according to FIA GT regulations and has since competed with great success in the World FIA GT Championship, winning the team's championship 3 consecutive times from 2005 to 2007. The MC12 has also been raced in various national GT championship as well as in the American Le Mans Series. The MC12 is based on the Enzo Ferrari sports car. 50 street legal homologation models have been sold for about $700,000 each. The Maserati, Alfa Romeo, and Abarth Group partnership under Fiat Group, the Maserati, Alfa Romeo, and Abarth brand group partnership, under Fiat Group, started in 2005, when Maserati was split off from Ferrari and partnered with Alfa Romeo. In the second quarter of 2007, Maserati made profit for the first time in 17 years under Fiat ownership. On January 22, 2010, Fiat announced that it had created a new partnership brand group for Alfa Romeo, Maserati, and Abarth. The group is led by Harold J. Wester, the current CEO of Maserati. Sergio Marchionne said that, the purpose of bringing the Alfa Romeo, Maserati and Abarth brands under the same leadership is to emphasize and leverage the value of the shared qualities of the 3 brands in terms of their sporting characteristics and performance. In 2013, Maserati started its expansion with the 6th-generation Maserati Quattroporte, which was designed to better compete with the Mercedes-Benz S-Class. This was followed by the introduction of the Ghibli, which was slated to compete against the Mercedes-Benz E-Class and BMW 5 Series. On May 6, 2014, Maserati confirmed production of the Levante SUV and the Alfieri. At this event, it was revealed that 2014 will be the last year of production for the Gran Turismo and Gran Turismo convertible. The Gran Turismo name will be revived in 2018 with a 560 bhp V8, in rear-wheel drive configuration. Maserati sales in 2013 were 15,400 units, which is up from just over 6,000 units worldwide in 2012. In May, 2014, Maserati sold a company record of over 3,000 cars worldwide, causing them to increase production of the Ghibli and Quattroporte. For that same month in the United States, Maserati sold 1,114 vehicles, which is up 406.19% over the same month in the previous year in the United States. The sales target for 2018 is 75,000 units worldwide. In 2014, Maserati started their re-entrance into the high-performance car field, in order to compete with brands such as Mercedes-AMG, BMW M, Porsche, and in certain cases, even Ferrari. This is being done with Maseratis that have high-output engines and all-wheel drive, and will be completed by 2015. The fastest Maserati Alfieri will be receiving a 520 bhp V6 with all-wheel drive, while the Quattroporte, Ghibli, and Levante are receiving 560 bhp V8s in the future with all-wheel drive, in order to compete with their respective AMGs, M cars and Porsches. For the Ghibli, this will be in addition to the standard version, which gets a bump to 350 bhp, and the SQ4, which gets a bump to 450 bhp. The high-performance all-wheel drive version of the Ghibli will likely wear a GTS badge. For the Quattroporte, this will be a replacement for the GTS version. Since 2009, Marco Toncon has been the head designer of Maserati cars. Automobiles. See List of Maserati vehicles for a complete historical list, current and upcoming models. Maserati Quattroporte. Italian for four-door, a sporting luxury four-door saloon. The sixth-generation Maserati Quattroporte was introduced in 2013. The Quattroporte is currently available in two trims, the SQ4 trim and the GTS trim. The SQ4 has an advanced four-wheel drive system, and a 404 horsepower twin-turbo V6. The GTS is rear-wheel drive, and has a 523 horsepower V8. The sixth-generation Quattroporte has grown in size in order to compete better with the Mercedes-Benz S-Class. Maserati Ghibli. The first presentation of this car was on April 20, 2013 in Shanghai. It is a saloon that will compete against the BMW 5 Series, Mercedes E-Class or Audi A6. This new model is expected to be key in order to reach the ambitious target sales of 50,000 cars a year by 2015, and 75,000 by 2018. The car, along with the new Quattroporte, will be built in the Italian factory of Grugliasco, Turin province. Maserati Gran Turismo and Gran Turismo Cabriolet. The Maserati Gran Turismo is a Grand Tourer introduced in 2007. The Gran Turismo has a 4.7-litre V8, making 454 bhp in sport form and MC form. A convertible version is also available in standard, sport, and MC form. The final year of the Maserati Gran Turismo is 2014, but it will be revived in 2018 with a 560 bhp V8, in rear-wheel drive form. Maserati Levante. The Maserati Levante is due to be released in 2014 and has the choice of two engines. A 3.0L V6 or 3.8L V8. It is a SUV introduced as the Maserati Kibang concept SUV in September 2003 at the Frankfurt Motor Show and again in 2011 as a 2013 model. It was announced at the Paris Motor Show held in Paris in September 2012. The Levante will be assembled in Mirafiori plant, in Turin. It was confirmed on May 6, 2014. Maserati Alfieri. The Maserati Alfieri was a Concept 2+2 presented at the Geneva Motor Show in 2014. The concept was based off the lighter chassis of the Gran Turismo MC Stradale, although it had a shorter wheelbase. The concept was introduced with a 4.7-litre V8 producing 460 bhp. The Alfieri was confirmed for production in 2016 at a Fiat Chrysler event on May 6, 2014. The production version will receive three different V6 engine choices, producing 410 bhp, 450 bhp, and 520 bhp, respectively. The 450 horsepower and 520 horsepower versions will only have an all-wheel drive system. The Alfieri will be joined by an Alfieri convertible in 2017. Motorsport. Throughout its history, Maserati has participated in various forms of motorsports including Formula One, sports car racing and touring car racing, both as a works team and through private entrants. Maserati developed 15 Gran Turismo MC race cars, homologated for the European Cup and National Endurance Series, one of which was raced by GT Motorsport organisation Cool Victory in Dubai in January 2010. See also: Riverside International Automotive Museum, Maserati, Notes. References: Maurizio Tabucchi. Maserati, the Grand Prix, Sports and GT Cars Model by Model, 1926 Euro 2003. ISBN 88-7911-260-0. External links: Official site, Official Maserati Racing site, Official Award site, Andrea Pixney talking about Maserati Gran Turismo MC Stradale.